the Toyota engagement equation book, this equation, right? And so if you look in the very middle there, it says GTS. And that was an acronym that we used at the plant. The Japanese trainers did this. It was grasp the situation. Everything was always about grasping the situation and trying to understand. And so when we wrote the book, it's been over 3 years ago, actually about 4 years ago when we were writing it, we tried to think, how can we translate the thinking behind what Toyota was doing every day in their culture, you know, the doing behind the work, the thinking behind the work. And so we came up with an equation to say, how do we explain it where it can translate into any industry, not just manufacturing? It has really nothing to do with making cars. It's everything to do with how we think about our processes and develop our people to align with the purpose every day through problem solving, all those P's in there. So if we look at the equation, the GTS1 is go to see. And that ties back to one of our Toyota Way values, which was Genchi Genbutsu, but it meant go to see. We couldn't say that very well back then, so we just said get your boots on. And that means get your boots on, go to see. And the GTS2 is grasping the situation. Now that goes back to the previous slide and saying, what's the standard? What is the current state? What's the measurable gap? When the trainers ask us to grasp the situation, that is what they were asking. What's the standard or the should be state? What is the current state? And what's the measurable gap? That would be when they asked grasping the situation, what they were wanting us to go and see, right? So once we understood there was a gap, that gave us a problem. And we were able to look at the GTS3 there. Okay, now we got to get to solution. So we need to look at different aspects of the process. We need to look at root cause. We need to look at how can we countermeasure this. And we need to do that based on facts. So the go see still plays in this, right? And we need to weed out our travel knowledge. It's good to use experience, but it's best to have facts and data and measure based on the current state and then the should be state. Where should we be? So once we solve that and find the true root cause, not the symptom, you know, Ernie talked about firefighting. We want to get past that symptom and get to the true root cause. And when we do that, then we're able to look at the process and document it to get to GTS4 to say, now we can set the standard. And so by doing that, that allows us to have that baseline. Remember, we go all the way back to slide 1. It's a prereq for problem solving. If we don't have the standard, it's very hard to measure improvement. That goes back all the way to Taiichi Ohno. He would say, you know, and the trainers would say, no measure, no do. And they would say, if you don't have a way to measure, you cannot Kaizen or have continuous improvement. It's impossible, really, when you think about it. If I don't have a way to measure how I'm improving, you know, I need that standard to do that. So once I've got the standard and I'm working on that process, then I've got to get to sustainability, or stability works there as well. I got to stabilize that process, and that's GTS5. In order to allow for GTS6 is to get to stretch. We talk about raising the bar, and that's raising the bar on ourselves. That's raising the bar on the team level. That's raising the bar on the department. I'm going through that same cascade, and I'm able to look at how I'm contributing upward to that true north, because if we go back to what the equation is in the book is the E cubed, everybody, every day, engage. It doesn't matter what level you are, from the CEO to the primary process owner, the PPO, we need to be thinking in this way. So if I work in R&D, I'm going to go and see, and I'm going to grasp the situation and so on. If I work in accounting, same thing. If I work in maintenance, same thing. If I work in human resources, I can list all the horizontal functional areas that go with the vertical, Because guys, that's what creates the DNA, the discipline and accountability for our thinking. And that, guys, is for us what makes Toyota stand out a little different is the accountability, that DNA. You know, we have our human DNA, which is our characteristics and the fundamentals of making us who we are. Our company DNA is our ability to have discipline and accountability for the standards that we set together, and then until we change it together. So this is a view from a micro level, you know, the grasping the situation as we go outward to the macro business, how I'm contributing to that directional management above in our business planning. So it's a caused gap and a created gap way of thinking.